I don't have anything to talk about specifically, though.
No, I don't either.
Okay.
But hey, so like counter's going up.
Uh-huh.
Power's on there. I'm on.
Uh-huh.
You're on.
Uh-huh.
You got battery. All right. So this is okay. We're gonna make this episode 134. Welcome to ShiftLess, everyone. We'll throw this one up Monday-ish
Okay.
and kind of maybe get on schedule. That reminds me,
Mm-hmm.
I messed up.
Uh-oh.
I thought I was leaving on our trip to California Thursday of next week.
Uh-huh.
My lovely bride said, nope, we're leaving Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Can we report on Tuesday next week? Is that a possibility?
Well, I don't see why not.
Okay. We'll figure out those details. I just want to make sure you weren't off gallivanting around the world or something like that.
Yeah, I don't currently have any plans for Tuesday. So
There's a siren out there. What you do now?
that's the wrong siren. That's fire engine.
Is that fire engine?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably responding to the clinic over there.
Oh, that's right. Your neighbors. Well, welcome to ShiftLess, everyone, the show that's only about bicycles. We don't talk about anything else.
And fire engines.
Well, speaking of neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed 2 new dogs on the corner here off the main road instead of the Great Pier that are always over there jumping around. There was like a boxer and a little white fuzzy thing.
It's still the same people that live there.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. But you're right. I hadn't thought about it, but they haven't had those Great Pyrenees. Man, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, they're trains. There's
Okay.
what's that show with Tom Hanks and the neighbors, the Burbs or whatever?
Well, I think it was Neighbors, wasn't it?
Oh, was it Neighbors?
Well, no, that was John Belushi. And maybe the Burbs was maybe. That's, there's a new version of that out now, I think.
Sure.
I don't know. I can't.
Everything that's old is new again.
I can't keep up.
So what do you call this? Overcast?
Yes, I would call this overcast. Not unpleasant.
No,
Temperature's like perfect.
it is about perfect. Last night at North Shore was just beautiful.
Nice.
The weather was amazing. It was a little windy, but when you get in the trees, not a big deal. The trail was in perfect shape. There was a couple of wet spots that were not bad at all, but the trail was crazy good shape, and the rocks are so happy when it's like this, you know. So it was a good ride.
Almost traction on the rocks, huh?
Yeah, it was a good ride. Good hang afterwards.
Very nice.
Nice little fire going. It was a very nice evening.
Very nice.
It's good to be back on a bike. It was nice to ride my single speed.
Okay. So is Brad back now, or are you still on the comeback trail?
I don't know what's going. My heart rate's still high. Like last night, that's what's weird is I felt good. I mean, I didn't feel like
Maybe it's time to
strong
put the heart rate monitor away for a little while and just ride the bike for a little bit.
Well, I want to do one thing before I do that because I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I'll just scroll to the next screen so I don't have to look at my heart rate, you know. But I do have another heart rate monitor strap that I bought when we were in Utah because I had forgotten my heart rate strap. So I'm going to try that one. It's a Wahoo. Because I don't know if I'm getting like a false high, which I guess probably isn't right. But like last night, my heart rate hit 182. And I don't even feel like I did that. And then my heart rate, I think my average was like, I can't remember, like 165 or 168 or something. But I was talking the whole time we were riding.
Yeah, it does sound a little off.
Yeah.
That does sound. Yeah. So it's a Garmin strap that you're using now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a rechargeable battery or a replacement battery?
Replacement battery.
Have you replaced the battery lately?
Not lately, but don't you just run it until it doesn't respond?
Yeah, unless it's acting weird, then maybe.
But what's weird is when I look at my chart, it's not like I don't have any spikes or, drops or anything. So I don't know. It's probably just me. It's probably my heart. It's going to explode.
Well, I guess technically speaking, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quick check and balance would be buy another heart rate monitor.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. That's a worthwhile endeavor.
And if that changes my metrics considerably, then I'll change my battery on my other strap and chalk it up to that and try it again.
Sure.
But if not, I'm just going to go to plan C and just put it on the other screen and keep riding. And
You don't have a watch or a Fitbit or anything?
Yeah, I have a watch, but I don't ever track it because I'm using my Garmin head unit,
But the watch can still record to your phone and you can compare data, right?
It can, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good point too.
Okay. Hey, we're just,
Yeah.
you fiddle with it. You
Yeah.
do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
But it's just weird because I felt good.
Understood.
And I had a good ride. It was just fun.
That's, for peace of mind, check against another heart rate monitor.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you going to do if that one says you're riding at 168 too? What's that going to do?
I need to go to the doctor anyways.
Okay.
I haven't had any blood work or anything done in forever. So I just need to go get, like a blood panel done,
Sure.
that kind of stuff. So
Makes sense.
I've been talking to the wife about that, the big 5-0 now. So I guess start treating myself
I'm
like an aging.
I'm overdue for the trip to have all the basic tests done,
Yeah.
but probably not as overdue. I had it done a couple of years ago, but
Yeah. It's probably been 10 years for me.
yeah. Well, before I had it done a couple of years ago, it's probably been 10 years for
Yeah.
me too. So I'm staying closer to it now.
Yeah.
I'm staying closer to it.
What's going on in the bike world?
Man, not a whole lot that's jumped out at me, to be honest with you.
It seems eerily quiet.
Nothing really. So what? Mid-South will be in a few weeks. That's really kind of the kickoff for the gravel season.
Yeah.
Nothing else is, competition. I guess the Olympics are happening. I've watched like 2 minutes of curling. That's about it.
That's not enough.
It was.
Are you not? I'm infatuated with curling.
It's hard to explain. In past years, I can chill to curling. Something about the way they're doing the coverage this year, it's not working for me. I don't know.
We were even watching it post ride when we went to get a bite to eat at Lakeside Tavern last night. They had it on, and no volume or anything. And it was, obviously we had a running commentary, but it's so interesting to watch. Like even Adam, who was immediately like, "What the fuck's up with curling?" Against it. He reluctantly started watching it, and then he was like, "But wait, what?" And he started asking questions. He was intrigued. It's a very intriguing game. But the other things that I always think about is like, what's the feeder sport? How do you figure out you're good at curling? And what's the professional outlet? Like what do these guys do in the off season? How much does a curling broom cost?
The stones are like $900.
Yeah, so Adam looked it up last night. The stones go from like 6 something to 900 with and for some reason you have to have 16 stones for a complete set. So it's like 8 and 8 for the team. 8 per team. I guess they're different weights. I don't know. But he said a complete set of curling stones could be like,
well,
15,000.
it is considered a true gentleman's sport.
Why do they let women play then?
That's why I did air quotes. Don't need none of your smart ass.
I like to watch the women play even more, though.
I agree.
They have a lot more finesse.
I agree. But that's the big controversy this year. It's technically a gentleman's sport where you call your own fouls and things like that.
Yeah.
And the Canadians have been cheating.
Adam told me about that. I haven't seen that because Gage asked me the other night, we were watching curling at the house. He goes, "What happens if they accidentally touch the stone or something?" I go, "Man, I don't know. I've been watching curling for years and I've never seen anybody touch a stone." I said, "I don't know what the penalty is. I don't know if they eliminate that rock or..."
Well, and that's the thing, because it's a gentleman's sport. They haven't been calling the foul for, I guess it's kind of a years on thing now. Yeah. But the Canadians have evidently consistently been doing this little finger thing of theirs. And
how much, I don't know how much those stones weigh, but how much can a finger actually affect it?
Well, how much can one swish of a broom affect it,
It's true.
So I don't, because I haven't done any curls. I'm just saying, so far, everyone agrees it's technically against the rules.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees it's technically against the rules. The Canadians keep saying they're not doing it.
But I saw the freeze frame because I looked it up last night.
Right.
And I saw the little freeze frame of the guy like trying to be sneaky and like pushing behind the stone as he's like gliding out.
Right. I don't know what the benefit of doing. I'm not implying that there is or is. I don't know.
It's like
Believe it or not, I'm not a curling expert.
You're not.
No. I know it's shocking.
I thoroughly enjoy it.
But for whatever reason, there's something about this year's coverage. It's just not jiving with me. I think before when I've watched curling, it's more ambient noise where it's just kind of going on and it's in the background and kind of lays on the couch and chill to it.
Yeah.
And now the commentators are really and talking it up and trying to make it super dramatic and everything like that. And I don't know.
Yeah. I just appreciate all the tactics and the finesse and then the aggressive moves. But I love
the strategic aspect of the chess aspect of curling is really cool.
Yeah. I can't say enough good things about it. And I love, like, the only reason I like to have the sound on is when the women are like going, I love that, you know? And the men seem so much more calm, you know? It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I also enjoy all the luging activities too. It boggles my mind. Like, it's been a sport for 100 years, but who was the first person that said, let's throw ourselves down this ice tunnel and go as fast as we can with minimal protection?
It evolved into that.
Yeah,
it started with somebody just going downhill face first on a sled.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the skeleton is the one that freaks me out, where they're head first.
Yeah.
Just like, let's go. It's so crazy.
But there's no cycling anything in Winter Olympics, right?
No. Adam was telling me about some event though where they do a hill climb on skis. I guess it's like skinning, maybe. I didn't see the event. He said that there was a guy who obviously won, and he did a mile uphill with skis on in 6 minutes. He said it was unbelievably impressive. In the cold, obviously, mind you. But I don't know what the event is. So I brought way too little information.
That's understood. Understood. Cross-country skiing, that is one of the, actually, I guess that's kind of the closest thing to cycling in Winter Olympics.
Especially from a fitness aspect.
I've always been intrigued by the cross-country skiing as well, but I guess probably because it is so
cross-country
similar to cross-country mountain biking.
They say cross-country skiing is dead.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it on the Olympics, but I haven't been watching much of the Olympics. I haven't seen any headlines around the cross-country skiing. I've seen headlines around just about everything else along the way.
It's so strange because Paul and I have been off and on making a concerted effort to watch some of the Olympic coverage. And we have Paramount Plus, I guess, and that's where a ton of the Olympics coverage is hosted.
It's on Peacock.
That's right. Yeah, it is Peacock. But every time we turn it on, and I didn't think about it at first, but every time we turn it on, the live coverage or whatever, it was always women's sports. And at one point I commented to Paul, I go, I don't mind watching women play sports. I said, but everything we've watched has been women. And she goes, you're right. Where are all the men's sports? Like, every time we turn it on, it'd be women's big air snowboard, it'd be women's super G skiing, it'd be women's luge, women's double luge. I mean, it was women's curling. It was everything. And I go, is it like, I guess it just happenstance that's the way it happened for us. But it was so strange because it was like,
it could be a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not searching for it. You're just going with what's up there.
Live coverage, yeah.
Well, but there's multiple things that are live at the same time.
Yeah.
So it could be Peacock is force feeding as the top event that they're making or putting at the top of the list. Maybe they're encouraging people to get into women's sports, or it could also just be an algorithm thing where the first two you watched were women's sports, and now it thinks that's what you want to watch is women's sports.
Possible.
It could be either of those, or it could just be a crapshoot. It could just be the times you watch stuff is when the Premier Women's stuff is going on.
Yeah. Oh, it could be a time slot thing. Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
It's cool.
All cool.
It's been fun.
But yeah, not much going on in the cycling world since
Which
we're
is-
talking about Winter Olympics.
Yeah, which is crazy. I mean, even on Bicycle Retailer, there's Garmin posts record revenue for 2025 and 17% growth in Q4. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but how much of that is cycling related?
That's what I was just about to say. I don't know if Garmin breaks their stuff out because it doesn't say in the cycling sector or anything. I'll tell you this: I was watching. Did I might have mentioned this on the last podcast. Garmin came out with this new spotting scope for hunting, but here's where I think it's so cool. And I don't know the cycling aspect of it, except for like on a bike packing type adventure or something. And I still don't know the implications. But the cool thing is you could, like, say you're in the mountains or something, you can use a spotting scope made by Garmin, obviously, and you can put a dot on a hillside or a mountainside, 1,000, 1,500 yards from you. And you can drop a pin there and it integrates into the rest of the Garmin ecosystem. So then it can go into your maps, even on your watch, your phone, or
Sets a
your
waypoint for you
e-tracks,
or
yeah.
something like
And
that.
it'll navigate you to that point. So say you're trying to go across a ravine or something to get to this and you hit an impasse or something and you have to redirect and you get turned around, it'll still beacon you to it.
So it'll find the trails that get there and things like that.
It'll integrate with any established trails that are in their
Okay.
ecosystem.
Okay.
But I just think that is extremely cool technology, And plus, Garmin has all of the maps, already.
Right.
So it makes sense. It's a natural progression, but I hadn't thought about that technology before I saw that product,
That does sound interesting.
Yeah. It's definitely cool. But like I said, I don't know offhand what the cycling aspects are.
It could be useful for route scouting, hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
Potentially, depending on how you're able to categorize how to route you to a waypoint and things like that.
I mean, and if you were designing a course like Rampage or something like that, I could see where it'd be definitely beneficial.
I mean, just even on BLM land or backcountry or something like that. If you're down in a valley and you see a road up there on a mountainside, how do I get to that road on the mountain? Potentially, if it lets you classify, what qualifies for the types of surfaces, trails, whatever you want, you're wanting it to route you on. I have no idea. I'm kind of interested.
It's
Curious.
It's cool
Curious.
stuff. It's cool
Curious
stuff.
more than interested. So yeah, I'm not making any major technology purchases anytime soon. We are a 2-vehicle family again.
Are you in the van today?
I'm in the van.
Okay.
The wife has her Jeep. So we traded the Subaru in on the Jeep last week and sold the truck to CarMax yesterday.
And it was a super easy process. Yeah, it's almost silly.
Yeah, that was a cakewalk.
Yeah, were you there for 30 minutes?
Maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 minminutes.
And they gave you top dollar?
Close. Yeah. Well, no, they gave top dollar compared to everyone else. I think if I'd have gone through the rigmarole of selling it private party, I probably would have made a few $1,000s more on it.
But it would have taken you 6 weeks.
It would have been rigmarole.
Yeah.
And I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time for that shit.
You would have gotten 100 messages. Is this still available?
Still available, or what? Will you do it for $20,000?
Will you drive it to Minnesota and give me $3,000 off?
Can you repaint it first? I want it in blue.
Can you LS swap it?
Yeah. So we're van and Jeep now. So we're gonna figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the road there will be a motorcycle in the mix, but that's a ways
I
down.
don't like that.
It'll just be for scouting dirt.
Yeah.
I will pull it to a staging area with the van
Yeah.
because I can't scout in the van.
Yeah.
And
You're just gonna get like an adventure bike, like
Yeah.
a 350 adventure bike or something.
450 to 650 somewhere in
Okay.
there.
All right.
Probably either the Himalayan or a KLR, one or the other.
Did you grow up riding motorcycles?
Mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm.
'cause I've always wanted a motorcycle, but I kind of made this pact with myself that if I didn't have a motorcycle by the time I was 40, I wasn't going to get one, and I screamed past that finish line.
I grew up fascinated in motorcycles, and I had the parents that there was not a chance in all of that
Yeah.
ever happening. I had a roommate where he had a motorcycle.
Why don't you just get a Sur-on?
What's the range on those?
Like 50 miles?
Oh, I've got the Tributary, which can go 75 miles.
Yeah, but the Sur-on can do like 40 miles an hour.
I'm,
So you could just rip down gravel roads.
it's more about range.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I need to be able to go a couple hundred miles at a time if needed.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because yes, I'll be doing a lot of scouting in the Tributary. That's gonna be the plan, is take the van somewhere and
Yeah.
spend 2 or 3 days there
Yeah,
staging from the van on the Tributary and recharging it and that sort of thing.
very cool.
So that's the plan A. But
Yeah.
I know there's particularly with some of the tuba stuff and things
Mhm.
like that. As we fine tune those routes, I'm gonna need the motorcycle.
Yeah.
But that's a down the road thing.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Nervous and excited for you.
I'm really looking forward to this California. Man, I hope we button up
I'm
throughout
jealous.
this trip.
I am
I
definitely
would-
jealous.
I really, really hope so. Tell you what I'm excited about.
Tell me.
I'm stoked that you're going to be cooking for us this weekend at the Butterfield Buster.
I'm excited. Very excited. I'm going shopping today.
So yeah, we're solid for 125.
Oh, perfect.
We're solid for 125. We sold out at 150 as of this morning. I'm going to take another 50. I'm going to open it up to another 50 slots. But our traditional no-show rate,
Mm-hmm.
if we get to 200, might have to buy a pizza or two. I don't think that will happen. 175 we'll probably lose 40 or 50 people, which
Yeah.
gives that 125.
Well, I'm planning on, I'd have to do the math again, but the way my purchases are going to break down, I think we'd probably be good at like 140-ish. So,
That would be ideal.
yeah. So,
That would be ideal. And if we have a bunch of no-shows, we just serve whoever shows up a bunch of extra food. But, I mean, episode 134 brought to you by FAM, Food Adventure Memories. Man, what a friggin' meal this past weekend.
Thank you so much.
I don't even know where to start. That was, every single course was absolutely phenomenal. I will say this, that was too much food.
Was it really?
It was.
Huh.
I felt stuffed at the end of it.
Yeah.
Almost uncomfortably so, but it was also, I could not let a bite go.
But I will tell you, Jan made the comment at the beginning about the bread. And she goes, if that bread's for us, take some of it away because we're not going to eat all that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I looked there and there was like one piece of bread left. So
We
you guys did eat your share of bread.
That damn butter of yours,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Well, I am the bread too.
Yeah.
But I had to use the bread to sop up everything. I could. I mean, when I say I ate every bite,
Yeah.
I ate every bite. I mean,
I feel like our portion control has gotten a lot better. I don't know if you realized it, but we run, I make Paula run we call it a trash bowl, but like instead of opening the trash can to scrape plates, we run one bowl and we scrape everything in that bowl, and it gives me a visual reference of how much returns we're getting. So I can kind of gauge things, for future dinners and even for that dinner to know like how much is getting returned, whether it's people are getting too full or they didn't enjoy the course or whatever. And then we typically have a discussion about what did you get the most returns on, what came back the cleanest, and, did people taper off at the end? Like the Budino, we got not a lot of returns. We got like maybe 4 plates that was like still half on there,
is that the chocolate one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
That
it's
was
so rich. Yeah, so rich.
So rich. And that was one at the halfway point. It's like, I really should stop here.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing, but it was rich.
Well, in the middle 3 courses were hearty, you know.
They were all hard.
Yeah.
They were all amazing.
Yeah.
So what? It was the pasta, the shrimp pasta,
Mhm.
the
Oxtails,
oxtail and mashed potatoes,
and the callaloo, the
and
greens.
that was your collard greens.
Yeah. And then
Which, yeah, you're the only person that's ever gotten me to clean my plate on collard greens.
and then
And then the
Pharaoh risotto.
risotto with the pork belly. I think there were. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
I didn't turn away a single bite on any of them. I think there were 3 bites too many in each of those.
Oh, really?
But that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
It's a balancing act.
It really is.
Of delivering enough food for people to get a good taste, enjoy the course. Because I want people to get their money's worth. I don't ever want people to feel like they're still hungry when they leave, but I also want them to not get tired of a course before they finish it. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree completely. Hey guys.
You think that's a good idea? No.
Sorry. Please, come here. What a treat.
He has been. We have a dog next door,
Yeah.
and they're kind of equal age. Well, Leonard is an absolute sweetheart, but when that dog is out, they just snarl and just go crazy at each other through this chain link fence. And day before yesterday, they were so aggressive. I went over there and I had to get Leonard, and his gums were bleeding because they're at the fence.
Yeah.
And then just this morning, we noticed that one of his canines, or whatever tooth it is, the long fangs, was chipped at the very end of it. And I'm like, this dumbass. So that's why I said, do you think that's a good idea? In case the neighbor's dog's out. But, yeah.
And I don't want it to sound like I'm criticizing at all, because I am.
No, you're good.
No, I am not. It was every single bite was absolutely.
It's also tough too, because you have tiny little females that show up, and then you have like this guy that showed up in here is probably 6'7", probably close to 300 pounds. You know, big boy.
Sure.
And they both paid the same amount of money.
Sure.
You know, so it's like, and typically the way I balance that in my head, at least, is, well, that guy showed up with his wife, and his wife's probably not going to eat every bite of everything, and he's going to help her, you know, which is typically how it goes down. And then the guy at the end will go, oh, that was too much food, and he forgets that he ate half of every plate of his wife's food, you know. So I don't know. I think that was one of my favorite menus as far as flavor profiles, execution, just how many different parameters it hit, you know, the variety and everything. But it was,
You covered all the bases.
yeah, it was good stuff.
And yeah. Well, speaking of, yeah, I just knew Jan was going to be stuffed at the end of it. It's
Mhm.
like, all right, well, she's going to leave half of that custard or ice cream or whatever
Mhm.
the finish. Oh, I'll get one more bite of that. That'll be ideal. And look, nope.
It's good stuff.
It was
man.
all good stuff. So that's all right. Well, let me walk. So it was the miso to begin with,
Mhm. Bone broth,
Bone broth.
marrow bone miso.
and then was the beet salad,
Yeah, golden beets,
golden beets, and that whipped goat cheese.
citrus vinaigrette,
That was
and then the pickled beet tops, and toasted, salted, or roasted salted macadamia.
yes.
And then course 3, we did honey roasted jalapeno deviled egg with
Oh, the deviled
jalapeno
egg.
bacon.
That's
Yeah.
give up a couple bites on those entree courses and give me one more half of an egg.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good deviled egg.
It was an amazing deviled egg, and it definitely left me wanting more
Yeah,
because it was like I had just gotten. It's like, oh, okay. That said,
long finish too.
the
on that egg.
finish on that was astounding.
Yeah.
So it was like it was like I was wanting more, but it stuck around in a good way.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then what was after the deviled egg?
It was we get into the entree.
So that was the shrimp pasta.
No, we did the oxtails first.
Oh, we did the oxtails first.
Oxtails,
That's right.
Whipped potatoes.
Whipped
and
potatoes and
callaloo.
callaloo, which is supposed to be what you said?
It's typically made with amaranth greens.
I have no idea what amaranth is.
Amaranth is see, I've never seen amaranth greens, so I can't speak to them very well. But I know amaranth is a grain. It's what do they call it? Ancient grain or something. But it's also supposed to be a superfood. But the greens are typically what they use in Jamaican culture, through all my understanding. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bugs are already here.
The bugs are here. One day of warm weather and the bugs are here.
But I subbed in collard greens because they're readily available, and being a Southern boy, I know how to deal with collard greens. So I just used collard greens, and I thought they came out beautiful. And then we did the pasta. Did a homemade pasta, an egg noodle sitch,
Oh, which reminds me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now I need to do your pasta class. So when are you doing a pasta class again?
I don't know. Probably March.
Okay.
I think February's already cooked. And then I did a heavy cream garlic reduction, but I literally only had 1 clove of garlic in my heavy cream just because it steeped and stewed for so long. And then I did Blanco tomatoes, which is, did you watch the Chef's Table that was all about pizza, where they ranked the pizzas?
Don't think so.
This guy was like voted #1 pizza in the world, and he's in Phoenix, Arizona, of all places, and he has his own tomato line, and his tomatoes, canned tomatoes,
Okay.
are hands down some of the best.
Okay.
Because part of his opening his pizza place was sourcing the best ingredients. So he started contracting to get his ingredients and stuff. And then he decided, well, these are so good, put out my own line. And they're carried at like Central Market and stuff. So used his tomatoes, did just a little bit of seasoning on them and let them reduce and tighten up a little bit. And then used a little Calabrian chili to bring a little heat, because I think the shrimp call for it. Did Argentinian red shrimp, a little homemade butter to sear them off to get them started, and then let them finish cooking in the tomato sauce, just so they pulled in some of that and the Calabrian flavor, and then finished it with a little cream and let that tighten up, and then bring in the cooked pasta and toss that, and then I did a little Calabrian oil on top.
Yeah. The more I think about it, that's the best pasta dish I've ever had in my life. That was outstanding.
I think, honestly, we've all eaten so much shitty pasta that good pasta always tastes amazing,
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can probably less than 20 times I've had good pasta.
Yeah.
Homemade
pasta is just a game changer, And
but just that whole everything in that entree was, the whole meal, as complex as it was, was there a theme to this, or I was like, this is an around the world thing or something like
it was, but it was, and I meant to give more of the backstory on a lot of those courses, and I did on a couple of them. But the overall curve of the theme was love. I mean, it was Valentine's Day, and so some of them were very personal for me or my wife, or, location, like the quenelle, like I said, that's a French pastry, that is it's first of all, it's a labor of love, but it originated in France, which is, a lot of people consider Paris to be like the most romantic city. So that was kind of the tie-in on that. And plus, it's just it's a dessert that I've always wanted to make ever since I had my very first one. And it kind of sat in the back of my brain for the better part of 5 or 6 years before I decided, okay, I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to make them. And it's an investment. You have to have pans, you have to buy beeswax, you have to in order to do it properly, you have to season the pans, and then you have to painstakingly coat them with beeswax, and you have to leave behind just enough to cause them to release, and not too much to where they're just coated with beeswax. And then, there was multiple trials of them. And, when you make it properly, you want to make the batter mix, which is essentially it's a cream and egg mixture with a little bit of sugar, vanilla bean paste, and then you whip in flour. And then what happens is that flour hydrates as it refrigerates over the course of 3 days. So 72 hours, that dough batter sat in the refrigerator just waiting to get cooked, So it's a long, arduous process that is laced in with everything else that I have going on as I'm preparing 9 courses. And then even at the beginning, like the miso soup, to me, it's very personal. But when I was dating my wife, and still after we were married, before we had children, like a good, like, romantic almost time for us was going to a sushi bar and or hibachi or something like that. And miso soup is one of those things that we've all had a bowl of miso soup, and even a bad one is pretty good if you're in that thought process.
Sure.
If you enjoy it. And so I just I wanted to make the best miso soup I could make. Start with a homemade broth that I probably spent 18 hours on that broth. I mean, it's all passive, but you're still monitoring it, checking it, skimming it. Then you've got to strain it and cool it and everything else. And I roasted my marrow bones, and I did some chicken necks and roasted those. And, it has kombu in it and bonita flakes and all the things,
I mean, just if I had seen the list of courses ahead of time, I'd have gone, man, that's crazy eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
But it all went together so well.
Mm-hmm.
And each individual course, I mean, I've eaten a lot of your food over the years. And everything you've done has been just dynamite. But the balance on just every course is nothing was off. The only thing that was off, for lack of a better term, and we talked about it, was Kevin likes spicier. I understand you got to accommodate the masses.
Definitely do.
And so it's like, but it was the pasta had a good heat to it.
Yeah.
That didn't need to be in.
It's enough to let you know it's there.
There was one of the courses, like, I can't remember which one it was we talked about. I was like, I would like it spicier, but it's fantastic the way it was.
Like the oxtails. I try to keep them where they're still approachable, because it's jerk, and jerk is traditionally spicy, because the Scotch bonnet implication. But you've got to hit the median. If people are anti-spice, they're kind of they're going to say it's too spicy, and if people are pro-spice, they're going to say it's not spicy enough. So I get it. You got to hit the middle.
And and when I said that I would like spicier, that I knew that was a me thing.
Yeah.
But everything was just so well balanced from course to course to course. And then after the pasta was when we did the risotto and
So I did a Honeycrisp apple and fennel, roasted Honeycrisp apple and fennel farro risotto, which sounds, it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But so I took Honeycrisp apples and fennel and caramelized those in a little bit of homemade butter and olive oil. And then when those were almost, like when they started getting a little color and getting soft, I'd deglaze those with a little white wine and let that cook down to where it was almost like syrup. Then those were pulled and saved. And the risotto was cooked with shallots and just a touch of garlic. And then it's traditional, like, start the saute, toast the rice or the farro grain for a little bit, deglaze with a little white wine. And then the stock that was added as the risotto cooks, it was a fresh squeezed Honeycrisp apple juice or cider. I don't know why they call it a cider because it's not spiced. There's no like aromatics in there. There's no cinnamon or anything like that. And half Honeycrisp apple cider and then half chicken stock. And that, gets ladled in and cooked until it's almost absorbed and there's more. So that's a tedious process too, but I think you need something hearty like that to stand up to the smoked pork belly. And then the smoked pork belly, I had an apple gastrique on that, which is standard aromatic shallots and garlic and stuff sauteed, and then you deglaze the pan with apple juice, once again apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of white wine, and you let all that reduce down until it's reduced by at least half, and then strain it off, cool. In my process, I cooled it so I can have it for the next day. And then when that gets heated back up, it already has a nice viscosity. And then you mount it with just a little bit of butter just to give it that fatty mouth coating, but the vinegar is still there to cut. And so that's why that goes on top of the pork belly, just to kind of rein in that fattiness, and balance everything out. So it's a complicated dish within itself.
Man, yeah, I'm worn out just listening to you describe.
And that was just one course.
And that was one course.
But that's my whole my thought process on every one of these courses is each individual item should taste good by itself, and then the sum of all the components on the plate should be greater than the single. But if you just tasted the risotto by itself, it's got to taste amazing. If you just taste the pork belly by itself, it's got to taste amazing. And then it's the same thought process across the whole menu. Everything has to work together, and everything has to be good on its own course.
Yes.
But then I also want each course to lead into the next course.
That's what I was absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
Again, it was such an eclectic menu, but each piece, like the shrimp pasta into the apple of the risotto. It's like, all right, there we go. And then that leads into the dessert courses there.
Yeah.
So then you had your, I'm sorry, what was the pastry called again?
The quenelle.
Quenelle.
Yeah.
Which I've never had that before.
Yeah. Most people haven't.
So the quenelle and the sauce and that fascinating. And when we were finished with that, it's like, now I need some chocolate.
Lo and behold. Yeah. And then, so even with the chocolate, there's a little bit of sea salt in there to break up how rich that is. And then there was a little bit of low heat cayenne pepper just to kind of play that whole bittersweet chocolate cayenne, spice chili thing. And it's just enough to help break up everything too, cut through the fattiness, kind of bring some heat and almost give the lure of acidity, even though there's no acidity there, and then go into the ice cream, the frozen custard, which that was a whole thing too. I mean, I made that custard base. I made that on Thursday, and then it goes into an ice bath and gets cooled. And then once it's cooled, it goes into a container, it goes in the refrigerator to sit overnight so it can properly cool all the way through. And then all the flavors can have time to mingle. And then it gets churned. I churned it on Friday, and then it gets frozen overnight, so it's ready to go the next day. And then I made the walnut component on Saturday, so it's not stale, I mean, and just that dish alone was a lot of work, because that was a burnt honey bourbon frozen custard.
Thank you. I couldn't remember what all of it was. Absolutely. It was the perfect finish.
Yeah.
It was the ideal finish for all of that. Standing ovation.
Thank you,
my
so
friend.
much.
That was absolutely astounding.
And the other thing I always consider is the weather. I want a weather reflective menu, and it was rainy and kind of gross all day Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I anticipated it still raining when we started dinner, Fortunately it wasn't, but that was why I started with that soup, because that's a beautiful rainy day soup, So I don't know.
Do you have your March dates figured out?
They're posted March 14th and 21st.
And 21st, so a week apart.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we've got, I think the bookends on my March. I can't remember what I have going on else in March, but I think I was relegated to those 2 weekends for whatever reason.
So I might be able to book you out on the date. What do you got going in March?
Maybe not. I don't have anything on the 28th.
Okay.
7th.
You do now.
Okay.
You do now.
Okay.
The 28th.
What are we doing?
Open air cooking in St. Joe.
Okay. Open.
You got a city park. So we'll figure that one out.
Okay.
We'll do our chuck wagon thing we've been talking about.
Okay. Put it all day. Red teas. All it green. Locked in.
All right.
It's just that easy.
Perfect. You heard it here first. Chef Brad Green at Butterfield Buster on this weekend, this is after.
Yeah.
But
You already missed it.
March 28th in St. Joe, Texas at the Chisholm, what am I calling it? Gravel Roundup or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right. Yep. Chisholm Gravel Roundup, St. Joe, Texas, March 28th. Excellent. So, yeah, I want to figure out how to do this on the regular with you as much as possible. Get those pieces dialed in.
As do I. I think I'm excited about this weekend.
I'm extremely excited about this weekend.
I think we have some good food lined up. I think I have a really good plan. Oh, I was going to ask you, do you have a sous vide as well?
I have multiple sous vides.
Can I use one of yours?
Of course you can.
Is it a Nova like mine?
I have an Innova. I think it's kind of glitchy. I have others too.
Okay.
My Innova is not my fallback right now.
Okay, because I only have the one. I have a original Innova, but puzzled it out yesterday or the day before on how to run it in my Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have to clamp it to the side and
Yep.
actually put the holder on the inside,
Yep.
just on that lip a little bit.
Yep.
So that's the reason I asked if you had an Innova, because I'd already puzzled out how to run mine.
When I get home today, I'll plug in the Innova and see what it does.
Okay. I mean, I guess just bring whatever you have if you don't mind.
I-
I could probably get away with running just one in an ice chest, but I'd rather run two, just almost as a redundancy, but also so one doesn't have to work too hard.
Yeah. If you start with hotter water,
Yeah.
it won't be a problem
Yeah.
in a cooler, but we can bring some backups. That's not a problem.
Yeah. I need to buy another one anyways.
Understood.
I don't even know how old. Do you remember the first time I turned you on to sous vide?
Well, I know how old my Innova is because of that.
Yeah.
So, that was
6 or 7 years ago.
it's longer than that.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm thinking it's closer to 10.
Because I cooked those dove breasts for you
It was the dove breast.
when we went on a ride.
Yeah.
And you're like, the whole time you were like, are those dove breasts? They're going to be like jerky. I was like, hey, buddy, just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. And then got back and I cooked you like 5 different variants of dove breasts. And you were like, okay, I got to know more. So
Yeah. And I've been a whole hog on sous vide ever since.
it's a great tool, but it's not the tool for everything. I have tried it. I've tried many applications where I was just like, okay, that doesn't work. Like seafood, not a fan, but
I did something. I can't remember. I did something seafood that worked pretty well, but I can't remember what.
I mean, I could imagine you could do. I mean, you could basically simulate a butter poached salmon,
Yes.
or something like
Yes.
that. And I haven't really messed with that realm, but I did langoustines before in there, and it changed the texture and it almost made them mushy. And I don't know if my temperature might have been on, might have been on.
Well, so that is the one. That is the one thing with seafood and sous vide. Obviously, meats, the longer it's in there, it just gets more, that generally speaking, that much more tender.
Game bird is like really where it excels, or even chicken. Chicken
Chicken,
breast.
yeah.
You can cook it perfect every time.
But yeah, the seafood, it was temperature and time.
Yeah.
Was critical.
Yeah.
It starts to mush out.
Yeah. But I imagine a poached, I haven't even thought about that until just now, because you could put just enough butter in there instead of filling up a vat of butter and holding it at the perfect temperature and submerging your salmon or shrimp or whatever. You could do it in a sous vide, vacuum seal it, and then as the butter melts, it basically poaches it, keep it at a low temperature. I hadn't thought about that before. I might have just created a new menu item for myself.
Understood.
So,
I like being an inspiration.
yeah, that's the reason I need to get another sous vide, because I normally, like, the stuff that I had held in the sous vide for Saturday, I normally run it at 135 for service.
Okay.
Because it's in a hermetically sealed environment, so it doesn't necessarily have to be at 140.
Right.
And then I find that that's the perfect temperature by the time we take it out, deal with it, and pass it to the customer. It's still hot, but it's not too hot to eat, and it doesn't overcook. It doesn't lend to the cooking process. It just brings it up to the holding range. And the pork belly, I was super happy with how my pork belly came out. I smoked that to 198 internal.
Okay.
Wrapped it in butcher paper like you do, but I let it rest at room temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it was cool at room temperature, cool-ish, it went into the refrigerator, still wrapped, but aired. Obviously the butcher paper is protecting it from the air a little bit, and it's so fatty, I'm not worried about it drying out. And then the next morning, I vacuum seal it, obviously without the paper. And so when it warms, the only thing that's circulating in there is its own fat. But the fat almost stays in place because you're not bringing it above that temperature range again. So even pulling it out of a vacuum seal bag, it still has a bark, It works very well. So,
amazing.
Because I've done it before where I've served pork belly and I've tried to, I've cooked it the day of. So I wake up in the morning and put it on, and pork belly is just like brisket. In my opinion, you have to cook it. You have to let it do its thing. You can't force its hand, so I don't wrap, I don't crutch, I don't boat, I don't do anything. So I just cook to internal temperature and I let that piece of meat hang out and do its thing. And so there's been definitely times where I have been stressed. Like, is this going to be done in time? Is I going to have a chance to rest long enough? Because I like to butcher paper it, put it in an ice chest, and let it rest for at least, like a pork belly, at least 2 hours or so. So I adopted this process just so it
takes the stress out.
Yeah, absolutely 100% removes the stress,
I mean, yeah, sous vide's the best thing that ever happened to barbecue. As far as I'm concerned.
It's
tremendous. You say it's like a brisket, similar. Is there an art to picking out a pork belly? I've never done pork belly.
Yeah, so when I buy bacon or when I buy a pork belly, the thing I'm looking for is uniformity in thickness across the board. And it doesn't, you're not going to get a pork belly that is 2 inches across the entire pork belly. You're talking about almost 2 feet by 1 foot, they're going to have some taper to them or some kind of piece that is going to be sacrificial, but I definitely try to look at the thickness and uniformity, and because if you get something that's too thin, it's going to cook really quick on this edge and it'll just bleed in and dry it out. So, and this one, I didn't even realize it when I bought it, but it had the skin on. So I took the skin off and I roasted it in the oven to make, I cut it in half first. So I had these two, if you will, or what do we call it? Cracklings, that were like this big. And I was going to incorporate those into that dish. I just thought it would be too much. So I've been giving them to the dogs as treats.
Okay.
And
I bet they've been enjoying them.
Oh, they love it. Love it. Love it. I should let you smell it. It's out of control. But I don't know where I was going with all that. The sous vide just makes it, especially on the pork belly, it makes it so much low stress, like we said, and there's zero compromise in quality, you know. And like the braised oxtails, you know, cook them, cool them, pick them, pack them, vacuum, refrigerate, next day, temp them up, sous vide, and you don't lose anything. In fact, I think you might actually even gain something, you know, because if you take them as soon as they're braised, like say I've tried to time it to where I pull it out of the oven and serve it, you know, you're going to end up with something that's still trying to figure out where all this juice goes. You know, you've got proteins that are still trying to absorb, and it's just, I think it is so much better after it has a chance to kind of rest and do its thing and then reheat. I really think you end up with a better product. And a lot of people serve oxtail still on the bone, but I don't think every diner enjoys that. So I pick them for you, you know.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I like them personally still on the bone because I love that aspect of getting every little piece off the bone, and there's that little pieces of gelatinous that's in between the vertebrae and everything. But a lot of people are off put by that. So let's steer away from it. Got to hit the median again, you know?
I get it. Now you're making me hungry.
That's the other part about the whole menu that people don't understand is there's a balance of stuff that can take place at the time of execution, and then the things that you have to kind of set yourself up for success so you can execute accurately at the time of without being super stressed the whole time. You know, thought I put this on Do Not Disturb.
So you talked earlier about this basically being a new menu for you, right?
Oh, it was, I mean, you know, we know our way around pasta pretty well. So, back to the pasta, that was like probably the first, what I would call like fancy dish that I cooked for my then girlfriend, who is my wife now. So that dish has been kicking around for like 28 years. And so that's one of the reasons it was in there, because
I'd bury it for it.
Yeah, I still believe, because Paula still talks about that dish to this day.
I'm going to be talking about it for the rest of my life. I guarantee you that.
Sorry.
It's all
but
right.
that's the reason that dish was in there, because I firmly believe that that's one of the reasons she married me, you know.
So what were y'all's takeaways after this? Did the courses work to your expectations and all that?
Yeah, super happy with everything. Like I said, it was just every time we do a new menu, it's more work than it will be the next time.
Sure.
You know, we're going to execute that same menu, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. I think we're going to do almost the exact same menu. And it'll be like a third less work, just because there's less questions, there's less
You got the process.
stress. Yeah. And I'll typically do that because nobody's going to come to back-to-back dinners. And in the rare occasion that someone does, which I don't think I've ever had, I'll just write a new menu, you know. But we'll typically run a menu, like an entire menu like that, maybe with a couple of changes or tweaks here and there. And we'll run it for, you know, like two dinners or maybe 3 dinners. And then I'll either, you know, I'm always paying attention to the guest lists and making sure, because I don't want somebody to come and have the same thing again, you know. Even if it's one of my favorite courses I've ever served, I try to make sure that the next time you show up, you get a whole new experience, you know. I mean, I've got a Rolodex of stuff that I'll cycle through. You know, sometimes I'll bring a dish back after a couple of years and I'll have almost a new take on it. You know, I'm like, oh, I was doing this, but I want to do it this way, you know. So I'm constantly tweaking stuff. And even within what we served this past weekend, I'll have a couple of tweaks, a couple of notes for myself where I'm like, okay, we did that. I want to do this just slightly different, So we're constantly trying to make sure everything's better.
So I've got you in February. I've got you in March, April. We're doing our pie ride thing. We still need to nail that down, the details on that.
And I believe our April dates are going to be in the middle of April again.
Okay.
I haven't posted those.
What are we, April 25th or something?
Yeah,
like
April
that?
5th, 25th for pie. And then I've got a private on the first weekend of April.
Okay.
So I think our dinners are going to be the 11th and the 18th.
Okay.
So.
And then you said May 9th, you got something special cooking.
Oh, yeah. I'm not ready to talk about that.
I understand, but I'm booking that one.
I don't want to create too much hullabaloo over that one beforehand. But it's going to be one to not miss.
I'm just seeing. So, yeah. We're probably going to go. We're going to let you do your own thing all of May.
Okay.
I say that.
I have on here 300 miler for the 1st of May. Is that in your calendar?
Well, you're not cooking, you're riding it. That's the distance.
Okay.
That's the distance weekend.
And I have it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is that correct?
We're camping at 4 Friday night, rolling Saturday morning, overnighting in the grasslands with some people Saturday night. Others are going to just ride straight through.
Okay.
I will have Spinistry Chow at the grasslands. So I'm expecting you to ride it. I'm not expecting you to cook it.
Yeah, I need to get my legs back.
Understood.
I'm looking forward to that.
Potentially, actually, May 30th. I may book you May 30th.
Okay.
If you're available.
I don't see why I wouldn't be.
Go ahead and pencil me in.
All right. Kevin TBD.
That's gravel free for all. It's Unbound weekend, but we're doing gravel free for all same day for those that don't make it to Unbound.
I think you should call it Can't Do Kanza. They can't come back at you now. I think that would be a fun throwback name that has zero consequences at this point.
I like gravel free for all because it literally it's a free event. It's free for all.
I got you.
So
I'm just going to put Kevin TBD.
All right, we'll figure. We've got a.
I'll just put gravel free for all.
Yeah, we have a convention center for that, but I don't know if we have a kitchen. I need to re-verify that piece of it.
Well, I can always do like a Blackstone,
we got time to figure that one out.
Yeah.
What's your first thoughts on what we might do in St. Joe, open air? Any ideas?
No clue.
Understood.
So, I mean, just like this weekend, I had some ideas before my dinner, but I'm head down concentrating on dinner. And then as soon as dinner is successful and done, then I'm like, okay, got to get on par for this coming weekend. And that's when I'll sit down and figure out a menu and shopping and everything, and then figure out my timeline for prep and everything. So I find that if I plan too far in advance, I set myself up and I think, oh, I'm so excited about this. And invariably something gets thrown off, like whether it's the amount of people or the location or availability of product or whatever it is, So I try to deal with it as close to it as comfortable,
Understood.
Plus, I want more information about what we're dealing with at St. Joe. You're saying there's nothing there.
I'm going to assume there's nothing there.
Yeah, well, then we can do something Blackstone oriented or, excuse me.
Bless you.
I mean, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Might even drag a smoker up there and do something. Never know.
Never know.
So, I love the St. Joe area though. It is still a shame about Bar H. What is going on? What is Bar H's current situation? Do you have any clue?
I mean, last I heard, just a guy bought the property and it's private property.
Yeah.
He built this big house on Devil's Backbone.
Oh, wow.
So
I guess that's a good place to put it, but I don't know. There wasn't access to the top of that, was it?
Well,
Other than that,
he paved it, cut in a driveway from the main road all the way out to the point on Devil's Backbone, man.
I need to ride by there.
Yeah, last I heard, and who knows, maybe this guy resold, but it's just it's private property, and he doesn't have any interest in sharing it.
Yeah.
That's fair. Oh, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can
But
understand that.
that was such a gem. And I think, honestly, it was ahead of its time. Like, I think if I don't know, maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part. Because I'm inclined to think that if it was what it was then, now it would get a ton more traction.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because it's so far.
It's perceived as so far, and we're back to cross country mountain biking isn't a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is where cross country's going. That's why I brought this up.
What is that?
So Allied just released its Fits. It's 140 millimeter travel though.
Okay.
Remarkably lean build and control that stays sharp when terrain stacks up. So I guess it's more of a, is down country still a term?
I can't keep track of them all, but
Yeah.
well, I mean, we are to the point where cross country is going up to 140 millimeter. There's no, there's no
Because
doubt
I
about
guess,
that.
I guess their BC40 is still a master of cross country racing. So this is 120 millimeters to travel with the BC40.
But with the 32-inch wheels, you're gonna need.
There is that. There is. I wouldn't be surprised if Allied had a 32 in the works. We'll see.
Again, I think that is the goal of the cycling industry is they're wanting to bring back cross country riding.
Yeah.
Because I mean everything is cyclical, but I mean the reality is the enduro and downhill stuff. Everybody that did it got hurt at one point or another. Generally speaking, it wreaked havoc on the off-road insurance scene. Past 5 years, it's been such a rigmarole to get anything unpaved insured. And so the riders are getting hurt and they're not coming back to it, sort of thing. So there goes the N+1 model. And the reality is, it's like I've said before, there's a lot of gravel riders that are actually starting to get a little mountain bike curious now. Once we got up over 40 millimeters being the standard on gravel wheels, and some people, I can do a little bit of single track, but if you have the roadies that had never done any mountain biking, they're not comfortable on 40s or 45s on single track by any stretch. And I think there is room for cross country mountain biking to kind of be the next thing. Whether it's going to be huge or not, I don't know. There's so many pieces to that. But
like I was riding with Proctor last night, and he was on so he is a collector of El Mariachi.
He's the El Mariachi guy, right?
He is.
How many's he got now?
So he had a new one last night.
Good grief.
It's a 2014 titanium El Mariachi, the only year that they did the half blue, that really pretty blue.
Yeah. The El Mariachi blue.
Yeah. And it was built up as a flat bar. It may have been 11 speed. I can't remember. 2x.
Okay.
And
I'm on board.
No, he's about to pull everything off of it and turn it into a drop bar 1x12 gravel rig.
Okay.
And he's like, do you think this will be a good gravel rig? And I go, well, the front end geometry is going to be a little bit different, but you'll get used to it. And I said, I think you're in the right spot, honestly, because everything's circling back to exactly what you're about to build. I said, because you're going to have 2.2 capability. You can run 2.2s on there all day. And the geometry is not crazy off, because shorter bikes back then and, steeper head tube angle, which is more like a gravel rig,
Yeah.
I said, I think you're going to be in a good spot. So.
Well, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's,
and it's just a damn pretty bike.
I'm looking forward to seeing it out there somewhere in the wild. No doubt. No. But how many does he have now? Do we know?
I think in the 10 range of Elmars.
I thought it was even more than that. But
I was being conservative.
I saw some ridiculous number at one point that I thought it was 20.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about it last night. He has 3 titanium Elmars. He has 2 in that same colorway, and then he has 1 that's just a raw naked titanium. Yeah, he's a collector.
I understood, and it's
and they're all built.
It's been kicking me in the nuts for years because I've wanted to pick up an old Elmar, and you can't.
You can't because Proctor's on every one of them.
I always thought that was one of the best bikes out there. I really did.
Yeah, and they did so many cool colorways. They did one of the, I don't even know if it was the last single speed, because you remember they used to put out a single speed Elmar, and they did the one with the like the world champion kind of colorway that was white with the rainbow almost letters, and then it had the stripes and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good looking bike. They've done so many good ones. And that's the other thing, is he has one almost in every color, you know, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Salsa had their reasons for ceasing to make those, but maybe
do they do anything steel anymore?
That's a good question.
I don't think they do.
I don't think Salsa makes anything close to.
Well, I guess Fargo's are still steel, but that doesn't count. Mountain bike.
It's a drop bar mountain bike.
Traditional mountain bike is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I don't think they do anything steel, so I could be wrong. State up yesterday, actually. They've got an updated version of their steel one that they put out about a year ago. Uh-huh. They've had a year to tweak it and make it a little better. It's $14.99 as a complete. You can put a transmission on it and still be $2,000.
Yeah, I don't think they make. This is aluminum, the Timberjack.
Yep.
You're right. I don't think they make anything in steel besides the Fargo, because the rangefinder.
And we still don't know what the Surly next whatever is, right?
I've heard rumors of the name, and I can't verify anything yet.
Understood. What's the rumor of the name?
I think it's Dreamcatcher or something else. I heard 2 different rumors. I can't remember what the other one was.
But we still don't know what the platform itself is going to be.
It's, from everything I understand, it's going to be a 29 bike packing mountain bike situation.
So then Surly no longer has a traditional steel mountain bike either. Then
I don't think so.
We're getting down to State being the only game in town.
Yeah. Let's look and see what Surly has in their lineup. I can't remember all of their bikes, but their whole thing is, like, when you look Surly bikes, watch, show you what shows up. Oh, it's not going to show up now. Well, I thought it was going to. It did when I first did it. It said steel bikes. Yeah, steel bikes and frames, customizable steel bikes is what their basically taglines are.
Understood. But they don't have a traditional steel mountain bike at this point.
No.
Okay, so that.
But they've always been non-traditional. But you can still get, they're not even, the Karate Monkey's not even on their front page of bikes.
Well, because it's discontinued.
Yeah, well, this is their featured. Has it even been officially discontinued?
Well, it was not available the last time you looked, right? Or I think it even said discontinued, didn't it?
I don't think it did.
It's not available.
Wow. Big wow. Huh.
So.
Looks like they were gone. Yeah, I'm on the 3rd page and I still haven't seen. Oh, there's a Karate Monkey. Wow, I didn't even know they made that colorway.
Is that teal?
It's sold out.
How'd you miss out on a teal K Monkey?
I don't know. I gotta find one of these.
I'm about to say, anybody that's got a teal K Monkey size large?
Yeah.
Size large. Hit up shiftlesslive@gmail.com.
Yeah, I want one. God, I didn't even know they made that color.
Check the eBays. Check the
Yeah.
eBays.
Let's see something.
It might be out there. There's people that have K monkeys just sitting there collecting dust, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's a shop that has one sitting in a box.
Maybe. Possibly.
Oh, here's one large. Not available.
Not available.
Son of a bitch. Large.
I don't know how many people were actually stocking Surly's the last few years.
Not a lot. Yeah.
It was always just order it from QBP when you need it, sort of thing for just about everybody.
Back ordered.
Lost its sea blue, so it's
Yeah.
not teal, it's blue.
I like it. I don't care. I don't think they're going to be anywhere except for sitting somewhere and not online.
Yeah, I bet there's one on eBay.
Discontinued online. Yeah. It's probably not happening.
You never know.
Hmm.
What else is new and exciting? This might be our shortest episode in some time.
I think we've exhausted the 32-inch talk without further evidence. Yeah.
We need some substance to sink our teeth into.
Yeah, I'm chomping at the bit for
We need some pork belly.
to see how this is gonna evolve. But I have pork belly.
I'm in.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't wait for people to start unveiling stuff, but I really think that, we've already seen all the teasers we're going to see for the most part.
I say everybody's just holding their cards until it's see out at this point, right?
That's exactly what I think. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Oh, did Cannondale ever drop their
What's today?
theirs was supposed to be the 17th, wasn't it?
Yeah. Let's go to Cannondale, because I forgot to follow up on that. I'm going to open a new tab because I'm leaving this one over. Cannondale. Let's just go to their webpage. It should be on the front page, right? If it was a big
One would
announcement.
think if there was
Synops. Like of the year. Nothing just screaming at me.
no.
Let's maybe do a search.
Do a Google search for Cannondale news.
New release.
Let's do it.
New.
They said it was the 17th, right?
Yeah.
Or was it the 19th?
They said the 17th.
Okay.
Release. Just do new release.
Cannondale launches.
5th generation. 1 day ago. Oh, it's the Super 6 Evo. The 5th iteration. This is 1 day ago. Cycling news. A ground up refinement. I don't understand why.
Well, all right. So
In typical Cannondale fashion, their teaser was very misleading.
yeah, because it was oversized slice of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I
like,
don't know how the
how does that fit into
Super 6 Evo.
Super 6 Evo? All right.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm
either.
glad we didn't lead the episode with this.
Yeah.
So now the three listeners we had that were left have now fallen off.
Yeah, I don't.
Thanks for nothing, Cannondale.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Whatever.
We need to get Sean on here because he's still doing good stuff with the cross country mountain bike racing, and I know he's positive about it, and not from a rah cheerleader. He's a believer, and it's doing well for him. So he's definitely got his fingers on the pulse of that crowd.
Yeah, and
more than we do right now.
And he is probably one of the biggest champions for cross country in the DFW right now.
I think he's one of the biggest champions in the country right now, quite frankly.
I mean, he's flying,
definitely in the state.
He is flying the flag hard and heavy. And,
I mean, he's putting on a timber race himself now, and he just did something, the Quanta Hill thing, and
the 6 hour, the mile challenge or something like that.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of zoned out on the mountain bike stuff.
Yeah.
At the competitive level at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking to get back into it from the spinistry side per se, but I do want it to be a viable discipline. Again, I would love to see it grow. And I think it's a good fit for a lot of people that are looking to do stuff. I think the e-bike stuff kind of got in the way for a few years.
This is pretty funny right here. Look. Wind tunnel tested. How does the new Cannondale Super 6? So just establishing this is a Super 6, right?
Okay.
You see all the lines and everything. And then this Chinese brand claims there's no faster all-around road frame set on the market. Here's what our wind tunnel. And look, does that not look like the exact same bike?
I mean, they all look the same to me, to be honest with you. All carbon road bikes generally look the same.
Yeah, but you see how that top tube?
No, I understand.
I mean, it's the only difference
rear-
I see is right.
the
in
rear
that
stay is different
little
there, right
bitty
there.
piece
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
It might be just enough to.
Oh yeah, that little piece is slightly different.
That's a lot different.
That is a ugly, sexy bike, though.
I like the paint job.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with those wheels, but
I bet they look cool while they're going 30 miles an hour.
really cool. Well, it looks like a white stripe,
Yeah,
white walls.
it looks very similar to the Super 6.
I don't disagree, but again, I think
I just thought it was interesting how they were.
yeah, but those are like thumbnail pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's more upright, and that's
Mhm.
really
This is
that's a try
Like a time
bike.
trial.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think almost all the modern carbon road bikes, all around bikes, race bikes, are going to look pretty damn similar in profile, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Hmm.
More marginal gains.
Marginal gains. Yeah. I think we're gonna see almost akin to the, are you aware how like F1 high level technology kind of cycles in and out? Like one team will figure something out and it'll give them the edge over the whole season.
Sure.
And then the other teams are trying to figure out what they did and how to mimic it. And it takes them basically the whole season. And then the next season starts and whatever that team did to get that gain is basically outlawed. And so it kind of resets the whole match. I think we're going through a similar thing with the road circuit right now as far as road racing goes, where the UCI starts to put these parameters, and so people are looking to make gains in other areas. Like they limited the depth on wheels. I don't know what their limitation is, but UCI's wheel depth rule. And then so people are going to try to figure out how to make up for that, and then with the handlebar width and what was the other thing? Gearing. Remember they limited gearing? There was something else that they put a limit on. I can't remember. But it's now you've got the big names and the big race teams are going to have to be in that F1 kind of mindset where they're looking for every event. Not that they weren't before, but they have more lines to paint within now. So it forces even more creativity. And then I think it's going to be interesting when you get to something like, big stage events and big classics. You're going to see a lot of kind of fringe technology that paints outside of the lines, but is still within the letter of the law, where people are pushing the parameters and trying to exploit loopholes and stuff like that. And I don't have any examples offhand, but I think we're going to start seeing some interesting aspects in road racing from that realm. And that's just a prediction on my side, but
Okay.
it's forcing people's hands to kind of examine and execute things a little differently. We'll see, but that's about the most exciting thing I have to say about road racing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got me beat. I can't think of anything to say about road racing at the moment myself. That may change.
I'm excited to watch the Tour this year and see if Pogacar is still going to be a dominating force. I can't think he won't unless as long as he stays healthy, but going to be very interesting.
I would love to see a real tour in the United States again.
Yeah, they tried that, right? A tour of there was a tour of California, and then there was the tour of Colorado, right?
They've had stuff over the years, but right now there's really nothing.
What was the best stage race in the United States, arguably? I mean, has there been one that's just like really stood out?
I mean, Tour of California had a good reputation. The old Coors Classic had a good reputation.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the Coors Classic.
I mean, it's just you just can't pull it off here.
Yeah.
There's just
I just don't think the United States market supports road cycling the way the European market does. There's not as much of a fervor over road racing as there is in the European market.
What the U.S. market does is it's the government agencies and things like that don't support it.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely cost prohibitive here.
Yeah.
Like because they are so passionate about it in Europe, they'll close down whole regions for a day for it, sort of thing. And they do have it down to a science where it's shut down for 3 hours while the tour goes through, and then it opens up right behind them, sort of thing.
But crit racing is still a thing, you know.
Well, that's what U.S. road racing has evolved to, basically. Is crit racing, because I mean, even at the grassroots level, well, there is no grassroots road cycling anymore. It's too cost prohibitive to get the police and the permits and everything like that.
Imagine the insurance too.
Oh, the insurance.
But cross racing is still a thing. Cross seems to be just kind of still doing its thing.
It's definitely on the decline from its peak. They're trying to make it come back. I mean, the cycling. It's hard to make a living in the cycling industry.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
But AI is not going to take over cycling.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
We're not going to be betting on robots racing bikes in 20 years, are we?
No, but it may get to the point where there's no reason to leave your house where you are racing AI all the time, where they do get it all dialed in, where it is super realistic, hyper realistic, simulated.
Did you watch all Black Mirror?
I still have not. It is definitely on my to-do list.
There's one episode where, and it's been forever since I've seen it, but these people live in pods basically, and they operate off of a merit system, a credit system, if you will. And so they have, I can't remember if it's in their pod or not, but they have to ride a bike for a certain amount of time to generate enough watts. So basically they're powering the unit that they live in.
Okay.
And it gives them their credits so they can eat and whatever else luxuries they have. Because it's like they operate, so like there's vending machines, although they're very futuristic, where they get their food and they have to, I can't remember if they scan their eye or thumb or something like that. So it identifies them, and then they use their credits to buy food. But the only way they get credits is to like do work and cycle and stuff. And it's all this self-contained. I need to go back and watch that episode, but it's very interesting.
Good movie the other night.
What was it?
Predator Badlands.
I didn't even know that was a thing. It's in the Predator.
It's the latest installment of Predator.
I like the last one. I guess it was the last one before that. The one where they were with the natives and stuff.
Native Americans, Prey.
Yeah. Prey, is that it?
The one that was set with the Comanches, the female.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one
was good.
Really good.
That was good too. It's the same director from Prey that does this one.
Okay. Predator Badlands. I'll have to check it out.
Predator Badlands is
That's not in my wife's wheelhouse.
if you have
I'll be watching that alone.
Hulu or Disney.
I have
It's on.
Okay. I will watch that. I haven't seen. I've been watching like stupid movies that I didn't know existed. So none of them are new. There's a movie called Becky that's about this bad girl. She's like in the 13-year-old range or something. And she is at this cabin with her father, and these neo-Nazi escapees show up, and she proceeds to just wreak havoc on them. And then
Never even heard of that.
it's super bloody, gory, and what's his name? Paul Blart Mall Cop. You know his name, but I can't think of it. Kevin James, yeah. So he's in it, which I thought was interesting. And nobody else of any, I mean, nobody else I've ever heard of or seen, I don't think, is in it. Well, the dad is recognizable, but I don't know him by name. And then there's a sequel to it. And I watched the sequel as well. And they're both like just guilty pleasure movies. There's no like
nothing wrong with a guilty pleasure movie.
There's no like real greatness to it. And then I watched a movie called Mississippi Grind.
I've seen that.
I didn't even know that movie existed.
That's an old one.
Yeah, it's like, I think 10 years old. I think it's
At least
11. 2015, I think is when it came out. But Ryan Reynolds is great in that. And I just don't know who the main character is, because it's basically the two of them.
It's been so long I can't remember
yeah.
who else in it. But I know I've seen it.
I thought that was a good movie. Not a feel-good movie. I think it was a good movie, So,
Actually, and that's one of the Ryan Reynolds movies where he's not Ryan Reynolds.
yeah.
One of the few.
He's still kind of a ladies' man, smooth talker.
Well,
You
he's gonna be regardless. There's no way for him not to be.
Yeah. It's funny because I was talking about that last night while we were riding, and Proctor goes, "Oh yeah, wasn't that guy that was in Van Wilder and Waiting?" And I go, "I think most people from Deadpool." And he goes, "Oh, I haven't seen Deadpool." And I was like, "Okay."
Waiting's really good.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah. I feel like it gives the whole food industry a bad name, but
Tell me
I
it's
can't say
inaccurate.
I can't say it's not accurate. I will.
Jan can't watch the movie.
I will say it's
She
not.
spent so many years as a waitress. She's
Yeah.
like, I can't watch this.
Yeah, I can't argue that it's not accurate. But it is a good movie.
I was seeing something from Ryan Reynolds the episode where he's talking. Oh my God, who does he say he's basically in Van Wilder and Waiting? When he started his career, he was just imitating somebody. Oh my God, I can't remember who it is.
Well, the rumor is that Van Wilder was written based on Bert Kreischer.
Okay,
The whole Van Wilder.
Bert Kreischer was around then.
Well, it was based on his college experience. And Bert Kreischer got zero credit for it. And I don't think he's mad about it, but that is like the industry rumor,
Okay,
at least in the comedian circle. And I don't know if it's unfounded or maybe it's just coincidental or maybe it's completely accurate. I don't know, but pretty interesting nonetheless. Lucy, what do you do?
what is she into?
She just wants the loving. She's all about the loving.
What else is going on, man?
Just getting ready to go shopping today so I can do a lot of prep tomorrow and hopefully get everything lined out well enough so I can go for a decent ride tomorrow. The weather looks stupid amazing. I can't believe that we're in the middle of February and the weather is what it is. Last night was amazing. February 17th, and I think it was 76 degrees when I started riding. And then even after the sun went down and everything.
It's going to be a false spring, though. They're going to sock us one more time.
Oh, I firmly believe that. I mean, and it may come as late as March, but I think we'll definitely suffer the cold breath again.
One more time.
Every year I say I'm not going to let it fool me, and I still get fooled every once in a
I
while.
think the dragonfly's working again.
Yeah.
I think the dragonfly's working. We got the cinnamon oil in the van, too.
It looks like Monday.
I need to get my taser back from you.
Okay. It looks like Monday the high will be 58, which is going to be the coldest stretch in the next 10 days.
Okay. Saturday still good weather there?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
But here's something that's interesting. Tomorrow night, the low is going to be 38, but it's still going to be high of 77, and the following day, high of 63. So, yeah, Saturday, high of 60, low of 32.
So what do you got to do to try out the different heart rate monitor? Just strap it on, or do you got to?
No, I'm going to go for a ride. I'm going to do that tomorrow when I go ride.
But you got to charge it up, or?
Oh, good point. I do need to charge it. Step one, find said charger.
What is the charger for?
It's a stupid
Is it a proprietary connector?
USB-C to some magnetic 2 contact thing. I can't remember. It's out on my workbench. I'm gonna go grab it and see if I can't get it charged soon.
Do that first thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as soon as we get wrapped up here.
Sun's trying to come out.
It's trying to.
It's trying to.
And the beautiful thing is, it's not muggy. It's not. I mean, I'd say the humidity's relatively low, like 40% ish. It doesn't feel Monkey.
All right. So
26% humidity.
oh well, that's why we've got the fires going.
Mm-hmm.
There's like forest or grass fires in Panhandle and Oklahoma and Kansas right
Oh, wow.
now.
On Monday, I was driving back I took Gage's meal prep, Paula and I did, and we were driving back down Vintage by the fire station, and they were doing a control burn. I don't know if you remember, but Monday was windy. And I drove by and I just go, hey, it's not a burn day. Paula and I were just giggling. I obviously didn't say it loud enough for them to hear, but and I was like, we should call the fire department and report a fire and tell them it's not a burn day. But I found it interesting that they were doing a control burn on such a windy day because it was like 20-mile-an-hour winds, But I guess on the we're just coming off of all that rain on Saturday. Obviously, they knew what they were doing, But,
They should be the professionals.
yeah. So
All right. So just to reset, so March dates for FAM are 14th and 21st,
14th and 21st.
and both of those are up and running.
Yeah, let me double. I'm nearly 100% certain, but I don't want to speak out of turn. Yep, March 14th and the 21st. That's right.
Eatatfam.com.
That's right.
All right. Nothing for April yet.
No, but tentative dates will be the 11th and the 18th.
Okay.
And then we have something really special coming on May 9th.
When are you going to drop that?
Probably in the middle of April.
Okay.
And I don't know what our other May dates are going to be. We're definitely going to do one more in May, but I don't know when it'll be.
Understood.
Probably be later in the month.
Yeah. Keep your 300-mile weekend open.
Oh, 100%. So,
All right, sir. I think we should go ahead and shut it down. Call it a day.
yeah, go ride your bike. I think I'm going to ride. I may get an hour in today, and then I want to go for a longer, more chill ride tomorrow. Start stacking some hours. Start getting ready for my 300-mile.
There you go.
Good Lord.
Going to
I wouldn't believe this, but we brushed her the other day and probably pulled a pound of fur off of her. And then still, she's just shedding like crazy.
going to give a little sign off to my friend Rich Waldschmidt. Get better.
What's
I'll
going
leave
on
it
with
at
that guy?
I'll leave it at that.
I
I don't know that it's common knowledge. So thinking of you, buddy.
we love you, Rich.